you remember last year when they said that 2025 is going to start off with WTF?
Man,
That's exactly what we finna be talking about today. We finna break,
man,
you know what I'm saying?
2025.
So with that said, I just want to do my disclaimer. My whole thing this year is I'm going to try to minimize using lashes. So that's why I ain't got no lashes on today.
Okay,
But,
okay,
you
okay.
know,
But you still look
when,
good though. You still look good. You look good.
wearing my real lashes. So, just doing a little something, something. We'll see how it works. Probably ain't going to last for a week, though.
Okay, cool, cool. So before we start off in 2025, you know what I mean? You have a recap of 2024? Any shout outs, any accomplishments, any goals, anything off your vision board that you did or something that you're proud of yourself that you know what I'm saying you overcame in 2024?
2024 definitely threw some punches, but I threw the mugs right back. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, listen, we were fighting neck to neck, but I ended up winning because I left nothing on the table. Everything
Mm.
I wanted to accomplish, I did. I became a what is it? A award-winning media host along with King Jacquel Martin. We
Talk
did
about it.
that.
Talk about it. What happened? How did that happen, sis? How did that happen? Talk about
We
it.
did that. We did that. So that was one of my accomplishments. Just doing a lot of my business things, being able to be booked for different productions. Also, I was on TV a couple times. Like 2025 was really a amazing year for me. I did have some ups and downs. I did lose my nephew, who was 3 at the time. So, and it was on my birthday. We buried him, but
Sorry.
it was like I said, 2024 gave some punches, but I punched back. I fought
Yeah.
through, and I feel grateful that I left nothing on the table this year. And I'm
Yeah.
super excited because everything that I was working towards also laid the foundation for this year as well.
Well, let's just take a moment for your nephew, anybody who didn't make it to 2025. My aunt, may she also rest in power and love. We're just going to take a moment for y'all because y'all lives are important. We love y'all. We appreciate the legacy and everything that y'all did while y'all were here. So we just want to take a quick moment for anybody who didn't make it to 2025. All right, cool. Shout out to the loved ones who didn't make it. But we're going to make sure that we represent for y'all because you have to be grateful for another day. You got to be grateful that you made it to 2025 because everybody didn't make it. And for the ones that did, here's a good question. What you gonna do in 2025? What you gonna do, sis?
What I'm gonna do?
Yeah, what you gonna
You
do?
gotta see. You gotta see.
Listen, I ain't gonna lie to you, sis. I'm on my pinky and brain swag. I'm looking to take over the world. You know what I mean?
Listen.
Uh, quick recap for me. Essence Festival. Listen, shout out to Omar, Adonis,
Yes.
Fedora. You know, they created 24/7 Live Culture Minute. So we want to shout them out. And they gave us a platform, myself, the queen bee of Serena, the one stop shop, and my sis, Gentel Cherie. You know
Dental.
what I mean? And the truth is, y'all, we didn't know what we was getting into. We just said we wanted to do a podcast and we thought it would be dope. We didn't study, we didn't practice, we just was authentic. And in our authenticity about all the different things that were going on in the world, we were able to be blessed by being able to win the Essence Award Film Festival. That was crazy. The
Yes.
Essence Film Festival Award, for best podcast. Audience selected us. It was dope. And we always showed up. And one thing that I can say is we were just committed. We just showed up. We would do our little notes or whatever else. And we were just honestly speaking from the heart. And that's something that has inspired me to do Whisper into Your Soul. And that's why you see the logo. Man, honestly, for real, my place didn't even look like this. I'll give y'all a little preview, you know what I'm saying? With the carpet and the logo and everything, bro. And this has just been, something that you got to do it piece by piece. You might not be able to see your whole dream, but if you could just take baby steps to giant strides and be consistent, then this is how you turn dreams into reality. And one thing that I want to say about my sis that's so inspirational that she's never heard me say, her hustle is immaculate. If there's a red carpet, she's there. If there's a VIP section, don't worry, baby. She might not have access, but she has access because she knows who she is and she knows who she serves. And so she's going to make sure that she has access. And the difference is if you carry yourself as if you have access, if you act like you're VIP, people will treat you that way. Not arrogant, not rude, but confident. if you're confident in who you are, you will be in the right rooms when you're supposed to be. And one thing that I want to say, sis, I'm so proud of you for continuously showing up. No matter all the storms that you've been through, no matter all the tears you've shed, no matter about loved ones, people getting sick, injuries, and the things of how life just be life. And I want to commend you because in 2024, you showed up. And by showing up, you planted so many different seeds to prepare you for 2025. And I can't wait for you to see the harvest of all the hard work of your consistency of showing up in 2024 like that.
Oh,
Yeah, facts.
You
That's
know,
an amazing example for your daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate you just not being one of the parents that talk that talk, but you walk that walk. And by you walking that walk, you are now an example of, if my mama can do it, I can do it. And I appreciate you instilling that in her. So now when she goes through her different storms, she can always remember the example that you set. Yeah, my mama cried, but guess what? She wiped them tears and she got up and she still handled her business. And so she's going to follow in that footsteps. And I appreciate you just planting that seed. And I think that's really dope.
I appreciate that. That means a lot, especially coming from you. You know, we're in the same industry. And that's all I know how to do is grind my way out. Things that I don't like in life, you know, obstacles that comes my way. If I don't like the results, I have to hustle my way through it. You know, change that. And been like that all my life. So I appreciate the fact that you acknowledge that.
Yeah, because sometimes we don't give out flowers. You know what I mean? And I want to make sure that for me in 2025, I want to give flowers. But I don't want to give flowers just to give flowers to everyone else. I want to give flowers to them, right? But I think sometimes when it comes to giving flowers, we miss out on the most important person, which is herself. You got to give yourself flowers. You got to know how to love on yourself to genuinely and authentically be able to love on other people. I'm able to compliment my sister the way you guys heard me compliment her is because I'm at peace in my own accomplishments. Sometimes we don't know how to be happy for other people because we don't know how to be happy for ourselves in our own accomplishments. And so I want to point that out. You got to make sure that you're on your own. You see how I just talked about Serena, about her consistency? And it's inspiring because it made me want to be more consistent in my life. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy when you actually show up for yourself, how life shows up for you. So in 2025, I want to be more consistent. I want to be more disciplined. I want to continue to show up for myself and be a better version of myself. So that way I can receive things that I never received in 2024, even though I am grateful for everything that I received in 2024.
Right.
How do you feel about that, sis?
First of all, you know, I've seen that you've been consistent because if you wasn't consistent, you wouldn't have your logo. You wouldn't have Whispering with Your Soul. You wouldn't have your red carpet display. Like, you really out there doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You wouldn't be the person that won an award for your film. So I don't want you to say that you want to be consistent because you've been consistent, you know. But I would say, like, you know, maybe, I don't know. You already doing the damn thing. So I don't even know. I can't really.
Oh, I want to be more consistent. You know what I mean? I want to definitely be more consistent. And like I said, I always say this about Amir Suleiman. That quote, it touched me. And pause for any of the young Gen Z that want to take that the wrong way. That quote, no Diddy, touched me because it said, "Death has mounted its steed. And the question is, will it find you in your purpose or your excuses?" And I just want to be found in my purpose. Yeah. And the only way to be found in my purpose is to stop making excuses and be in my purpose on purpose.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, sis? Okay. Because like we said before, everyone didn't make it here. And so Cat Williams, he had a fire interview and he said, baby, when 2025 hit, things about to get different. So should I drop the clip or do you got one more thing you want to ask, sis?
Go ahead and drop the clip.
All right, we're going to go ahead and get into this clip for everybody, man, because life has definitely been lifing, you know what I mean? And it's getting real. Let's get it.
Let's go.
The New Orleans truck attacker has been identified as an Army veteran who may have been inspired by ISIS. Here's what we know about the attack and the suspect. The driver has been identified as 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Houston, Texas. What we know about Jabbar is that he served in the military, went to Georgia State University, and had a real estate license that expired in 2021. He was divorced in 2020, and his wife at the time had filed a temporary restraining order for her and her children's safety, which was granted by the court. He also had prior brushes with the law, including theft and driving without a license. And the FBI said that just hours before the attack, he posted videos to social media indicating that he was inspired by ISIS, expressing a desire to kill. It appears he rented a white Ford pickup truck on December 30th. At 3:15 a.m. on January 1st, a truck with a black ISIS flag turned off Canal Street and onto Bourbon Street. There were barriers put in place to protect the street, a popular tourist destination where visitors and locals congregated to ring in the new year. But the driver avoided the barriers and drove onto the sidewalk, trying to run over as many people as he could, according to the city's police superintendent. 14 people were killed and dozens were injured in the attack. The truck crashed and the driver died in a shootout with police. 2 officers were shot, but are in stable condition. 2 sources told CBS News the suspect was wearing body armor. A long gun with a suppressive device that acted as a silencer was found at the scene. And investigators also found at least 1 improvised explosive device, or IED, in the man's truck. Law enforcement said other potential IEDs were found in the French Quarter and that they had neutralized 2 IEDs. It's believed the suspect was staying at an Airbnb in New Orleans, and on Wednesday, the building caught fire. A bomb squad has been at the scene, and the attack is being investigated as an act of terrorism.
Whew, that's a lot to unpack. Did you want to go in, sis?
I mean, you're a military veteran, so I want to hear your opinion first.
Serving in the military, you see a lot of things that mess up your mental. A lot of things that don't prepare you for war. I'm not sure what this young man's mental condition is, but it's sad to see so many people lose their lives over something so ignorant. For me, I'm glad they're considering it as act of terrorism because that's exactly what it was. And what's scary is, sis, not long ago, we were just walking those streets
Mm-hmm.
for the Essence Festival. And when we were walking those streets, we crossed the streets where there was traffic. And it's normal for people just to walk across the street and cars wait or whatever else while people are just crossing the street. The bands are playing, marching down the street. That's normal. So to see this young man go past the barricade, turn his white truck, and just start ramming people, just try to kill as many people as he can, that was premeditated. I believe he wound up crashing into some construction equipment and wind up losing his life in the gunfight. Am I not right with that, sis?
Yeah, so the truck was rented by Turo, and he ended up crashing after, running over all those people. He got out of the car and he started shooting at the police, and they started doing like a back and forth shooting situation, and he ended up, being unalived.
Yeah. It's horrible.
Mhm.
It's horrible. It's sad. I'm damn near, excuse my language, speechless. Because innocent people lost their lives for somebody else's ignorance for no reason. Prayers to their families.
Yeah.
I pray that everyone who did not lose their life has a speedy recovery from the horrible injuries. I believe I was seeing a clip on Instagram where one young lady's leg was broken. It was laying the other way. It's horrendous. And I pray for the city of New Orleans because, like they said, they have IEDs everywhere. There could be bombs all over the city. They said they found 2 more in the French Quarter. They just had the Georgia versus Notre Dame football game out there where they delayed that and postponed that. Thank God nothing happened at the game. Shout out to Notre Dame who won the game today. Thank God nothing happened at the stadium and players didn't lose their life. And I'm just praying for the city, man. I'm just praying for humanity because wow, 2025 for real.
Yeah, I definitely agree. When I saw the video, I was just like, this can't be real. I know this N-word did not hit a U-turn just to hit people. Like he playing Mario Kart. You know what I mean? Like what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know? I didn't like the fact that the police or the state, whoever it was, dropped the ball in reference to security. Because they did say that it was supposed to be more barricades and things like that, but obviously it wasn't. That's how he was able to get on the street.
Yeah.
And I just feel like, you know, it just have to, they knew that this event was going to come up. They knew that New Year's was going to come up.
Yeah.
I felt like the security should have been ramped up a lot more, which it wasn't.
Right.
And according to the football game, I feel like with that, to me, the game probably should have went on, and the people that, you know, paid the ticket probably went on. But why did you open Bourbon Street again? They opened Bourbon Street again. To me, I thought that was senseless. And I just feel like, you know, that just showed you're more about money and not the morals of the people that passed away. Give it some time to mourn. It literally happened yesterday. So
that's crazy. Because you just had dead bodies right there. Blood. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that's horrible.
Yeah, you're not even that. You know, to me, it's just like a slap in the face to the family. If I was if one of my family members was a victim of that situation, I definitely would have probably went on TV and, you know, gave that city my opinion in a very strong way, because it's a slap in the face. Why would you do that? And it was literally yesterday. You know, you just found 2 bombs in the French Quarters.
Not only that, you got dead bodies.
The thing is, I saw a video, right?
Yeah.
And it said that the police officers were sweeping the area, looking in trash cans. Yeah, the way, do you know how they look? First of all, they didn't have any bomb gear on. They had on their regular police officer uniform. The dudes was just walking to the trash can and just putting a flashlight. You ain't moving nothing around, so you don't know what's in there. So that's your way of looking around for bombs and stuff. And then you're gonna risk people's life and say, "Oh, we're just gonna open it up because you're here for the game anyway."
Right.
Oh, why not do everything on property? You know what I'm saying? Pivot that way.
Follow safety protocols for sure.
Yeah. It's just a lot to unpack. And in reference to the guy being in the military, the Al Qaeda,
the ISIS,
the ISIS Al Qaeda flag. I'm just gonna say how I said today. People might look at it a whole different way, but I feel like he had no ties to Al Qaeda or ISIS. And here's the reason why. If we look at previous terrorist attacks that happened here in America, Al Qaeda and ISIS, the next day or even that day, they pretty much claim, yeah, we did it. It was us.
The fact.
They haven't said anything yet. So from another report that I heard is that the flag was not on the truck. The flag was inside of the truck. So I don't know if that flag was planted. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And because the way the guy looked, he sounded like he a black man, but he looked like he's Arab, right? Yeah. So they said that he would convert it to Muslim. You can be black and convert to Muslim. So we don't really know if that was his real name. Because sometimes when people convert to Muslim, they convert and they have a different name. So his name might be Michael. His name might be John. We don't know.
Yeah.
But they're trying to make it seem like it's a person that came from another country. No, he was homegrown, right? And I just feel like too.
Allegedly, yeah.
No, that's what they said.
I know. I'm talking about the other stuff.
Oh yeah, allegedly all the other stuff I just said, but. In reference to like him being an American citizen, he was here, born and raised for 40-something years.
Right.
And the fact that the media on certain outlets are saying, hey, this is what happened when you open the borders. No, it don't happen when you open the borders. This person was—
That's that manipulation right there. That's the manipulation of the media.
Exactly. So my thing is, and I'm going to say something else about the media too. My thing is, if this person is an American citizen, born in America, how are you going to say the borders was open? And somebody said, oh, it's the DEI. First of all, DEI in the military happened way before DEI was actually a thing in our generation. You know why? Because World War I or II, it was still people of color that was in the military. It was still all type of backgrounds and nationality in the military. So why would you try to bring that up in this situation, talking about, oh, it was a DEI hire, that's why we shouldn't let everybody into the military? Man, go somewhere with that. And another thing I wanted to say about the media is, you know, the guy in New Orleans, he was an American citizen, also Army veteran. Then the guy in Vegas with the Tesla truck in front of the Trump hotel, he was also an Army vet. Come to find out, they both was in the same base together, serving, right? So this guy in Vegas, he gets to say, the headlines say, heavily decorated soldier blew up a Tesla in front of the Trump Towers. This guy in New Orleans, this terrorist from Texas, drove all the way over to New Orleans and created a terrorist attack. Why is the headlines different when both of them pretty much committed a terrorist attack? That's just mine.
Well, that's such a great question, right? Because, you know, I know war, from my perspective, allegedly, anytime before we go to war, we always have to allow something to happen here in the States to create fear. And the media will take that narrative and push that agenda so that way they can get permission from America to send their sons and daughters to fight in battle. So when you talked about the border, or when you talked about, you know, how the media is trying to paint a narrative, I'm wondering why. Was it just a random act, or was it a planned act? And I don't know the difference, because you got 9/11. Was that a regular act where buildings just fell, or was that a planned act where bombs happened and then we needed permission? So I find that very interesting, because anytime we do go to war, if you look at the history of that, something has to happen here first, and then we get the permission of the people to go there, and then we paint a narrative, and then we push that agenda so that way we can go to war and play Monopoly or fight for resources or drugs and all these different type of things. But at the end of the day, whether it's narrative or not, or whether people were planning or not to do these type of things, or it was MK Ultra or whatever you want to believe with the conspiracies or whatever else, it's sad that people lost their lives for someone else's ignorance or someone else's agenda at the end of the day.
Yes.
You have any final take on that, sis?
I mean, I have a lot to say. I know we're crunched for time.
No, we're not. Cook.
Oh, you know, I just feel like, you know, I hear what you're saying, that something has to happen here before we go to war. But my thing is, we all are seeing the same situation. We saying that it's two people that's been born here on American soil, two people that rented a vehicle from the same app, which is Turo, right? Two people who served in the military at the same time on the same military base, right? But you want to push this narrative of the one that has a melanated skin to say, hey, we had a terrorist here, so we need to fight for war. Like you said, you gotta make some type of fear in order to make it make sense for them to go to war. So you want to use this melanated man to say he's a terrorist, but you ain't even focusing on the other person.
On both parties, same way, keep the same energy for both parties.
Yeah, come on now.
I understand it too, because they do have the thing with the black highlight. The black highlight is real. You know,
yeah, somebody said in a comment, he was basically saying, oh, well, the difference between the New Orleans guy and the guy in Vegas is the guy in New Orleans, he was a Muslim, and the person that's in Vegas, he was just a crazy white boy. What? You really said that out your mouth?
That's terrible.
Okay.
I don't care what color you are.
Okay.
What race you are. Tell me if I'm wrong, because I'm not the smartest tool in the, in the toolbox. Death doesn't have a race, does it?
Nope.
Death doesn't have a color, does it?
Nope.
Death don't care. Death is just death, right? And when death comes, it comes for every race, every color, every sexuality, whatever. Death is what it is. So for someone to try to play religion is ridiculous. I mean, both parties deserve the same energy. It shouldn't just be one party, but it's the way America moves. One of
Oh,
those things. Go ahead.
so both of them was also Trump supporters.
Dev don't care if you support Trump, support Biden, support anybody in the White House. Dev don't care. You know.
Listen, the reason why I said that is because I really think that these two people tried to make a clear picture. Because first of all, you had the president that's about to swear in on the 20th of this month, saying a lot of derogatory stuff about different cultures and things like that at the end of last year. And I feel like those people that was offended are like, okay, I got something for you. I'm gonna have your first month, start off with a bang, right? So with that said, I just feel like they did make it an exception to make a clear picture, because the guy was at the Trump hotel in a Tesla.
Okay.
So you get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand where you're going with it.
You have Elon representing a Tesla.
Yeah.
You have Trump hotel representing Trump. So I feel like the dude was like, okay, let me just show y'all, we ain't playing with y'all two.
I feel like this is the year of people standing up. Cat Williams talked about a lot of people being exposed. You got the Diddy case and everything else going on. I do think it's just a year of people standing up and not just taking the BS that the government hands down.
Yep.
From, Luigi, from the guy who killed the doctor. I just feel like people are just standing up and they're just not going to take it no more. So it's going to be really interesting where 2025 takes us. I'm grateful to be along this journey and this ride. I just know that I want to continue injecting love into this system, and that's what I plan on doing. And that is my goal for this year, is to continue to inject love and become the antivirus to the system of oppression. And I believe that is with unity and love.
Right.
Yeah. Want to get into this next clip, sis?
Let's go.
Police are still searching for multiple male suspects at this hour who were wanted and accused of shooting into a crowd of about 15 people who were standing outside an event space located just down this block in Jamaica, Queens. Police say it all unfolded just after 11:15 p.m. on New Year's Day outside the Amazura Concert Hall on 144th Place. There were so many victims, the street was crowded with ambulances waiting to rush them all to the hospital. According to police, about
This is crazy, right? Yeah. What's your take on this one in New York with the mass shooting?
It was just so much that happened on the first day of January.
Yeah.
Like it low key was like, we're celebrating something new, we're happy. And that happiness went to
being sabotaged by people's ignorance.
Really, really fast.
Yeah.
So my thing is, when I first heard about the one in New York, first you had New Orleans, then you had Vegas, then they said something happened in Texas, and then this one here in New York. I'm like, what is really going on? And like you said, I feel like people are at a point where they're trying to stand up. So when it comes to the one in New York, I just feel like that was maybe some beef in the street or whatever. And obviously whoever was shooting didn't know how to shoot, because nobody got killed. The people that got popped was injured. So thank God nobody was killed. But I think that was beef related. I don't think that was anything political. They said it wasn't a terrorist attack, but it's just sad that, you can't even go out, enjoy yourself and just have a good time. People just want to breathe. People just want to smile, want to laugh, be happy, and to take that away from someone because you're angry or you don't know how to contain your anger, that's messed up.
PTSD is real. And seeing images like this creates fear to walk outside your house, because you want to make sure that you're able to get back home safely. Mm-hmm. It's fear for being able to send your children to school because schools are being shot up. You know what I mean? It's sad, but we just got to keep living. It's sad that we do have to tighten laws, but this is why gun laws are important. And at the same time, it's important for you to be able to protect yourself at all times too.
Yeah.
Because people don't know how to act. You know, we are here in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, where it's beautiful, but things can get real sticky real fast. You know, I do security. I'll tell a quick story when I was doing security, right? It was myself and my friend, Industry Threat. We were out front of a club and we're letting people in. We're checking IDs. We're checking for weapons. A young man rides up on a bike. No big deal. We're thinking he's going to come to the club. Come to the club on the bike, no judgment. Come have a good time, right? As long as you don't cause no trouble. So as I asked him, hey, can I get your ID? He was like, oh, no, I'm cool. I'm not going to come in the club. I'm just going to chill. I said, okay, cool. So I turned my back and I started talking to Industry Threat. And it looks like the guy's peeing. So Industry Threat was like, hey, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh.
Come to find out that this man had lighter fluid in his pocket, in the front of his pants. And he's spraying lighter fluid like he's peeing on the ground. And we're right by the cars because, you know, in LA, all the cars park on the street, whatever else from the clubs.
Yeah.
So he's pouring lighter fluid all over the place. And then he runs and he pours lighter fluid over someone's bike. He gets back on his bike after we chase him and he pedals off and he was like, I'm Rocket Man, or he says some crazy name like that, right? If somebody would have came by and was just smoking a cigarette, they would have blew up that whole block. Just that simple.
Yep.
But thank God that me and Industry Threat was there because we acted really fast. We went and grabbed buckets of water and we doused the sidewalk with water. We poured water all over the bike. And then we told the young gentleman before he started his bike what happened. So we doused it with water. We wiped it down just to make sure that the bike was safe. And thank God when he started his bike, the bike didn't blow up. You know what I mean? So you got to be very careful. And I'm praying for everyone's safety. I'm praying for your children's safety. I'm praying that you get home safely because you shouldn't have to leave your home in fear based off of other people's ignorance. But at the same time, I do want you to be smart enough to be careful when you're crossing the street, to watch out for different people and different activity. And it's not being fearful, it's being more aware.
Right.
I think this is the year of awareness because there was a plane. Did you see the guy on the plane, sis? It was on IG and he had a broken spoon like it was a knife and he tried to push one of the stewardess out to make his way to the cockpit or whatever else. And then all the people on the plane wind up jumping him.
What?
Yeah. And he wound up getting arrested. So I think
What is wrong with people?
this is the year of awareness. So please be aware of your surroundings. Please be smart, not fearful, just be smart. Because in evolution, as we grow, you have to become smarter. So please become smarter in how you move from your home, how you take care of your home, how you protect yourself, and how you protect your loved ones. What do you have?
I mean, you know what happened before we locked on. This
Yeah.
Russian guy, I'm in my elevator at my place, and he was just acting weird. And I had to pretty much tell him, like, yo, you need to check yourself. You gonna tell me? He's like, F me B. And I'm like, hold on, y'all already know I don't take too kind of those type of words. So I had to, what I had to say. You know, at the end of the day, you know, like you said, don't be fearful, but you got to still stay 10 toes down because you ain't gonna let nobody disrespect you out here at the same time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what that guy deal is. I don't know why people feel the need, you know, especially with this whole politician situation. You have a politician that incite violence, incite racism. You know, you have one that try to incite peace, and the ones that's on the radical side of, you know, the politician, they just, you know, feel like they can go out and say certain things to people and do certain things and nothing's going to happen to them. But all I got to say, and I keep saying it throughout our podcast and throughout our episodes, we are not our ancestors. You're going to fuck around and you're going to find out. Y'all keep on trying us. Okay? You don't go around to find out. We ain't our ancestors. We ain't finna be taking that stuff. We don't care about losing. No, seriously.
I know you're serious.
Where's the lie? What do we care about losing? We don't care about losing anything because you know what? What's for us is gonna be for us. Everything that you feel like you gonna blackball us on this or do that, God already got us protected, boo.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? We don't need y'all table. We make our own. We make our own opportunities. That's why we have this platform right now. Because why? King made this opportunity.
Yeah, we created it. Here's the second half. Here's the second half of that clip, sis.
90 people were inside and an upstairs private event space. The venue was at capacity and a line of about 15 people were waiting outside. Police say that's when 4 men walking down 91st Avenue approached the crowd and fired about 30 rounds. They then ran towards 143rd Place, where they got into a light-colored sedan with out-of-state plates.
Officers responding to the multiple 911 calls found a total of 10 victims, 6 females, 4 males, which were taken to area hospitals. All of the victims are expected to recover with non-life-threatening injuries.
Thank God that they're all going to recover. This is why, for me and my perspective for you guys, this is the year of awareness. Please be aware. Please be safe. Please protect yourself. You know what I mean?
So the people was in line, and this group of people just walked up and shot them.
They just opened fire.
So to me, it sounds like these are some young kids that was just out doing just anything. Because why would you do that?
Mental health is a real thing, you know, situations and people's things that they have going on. So please check on people. And if you see somebody hurting, help them, you know, believe them. If you see somebody say something, believe them. Take people at their word. You know what I mean? And get people the help that they need. And if not, just be smart enough to avoid situations to the best of your abilities, or just to move smartly, because I plan on making it to 2026 too. Let's move on to the next clip, sis.
Okay.
I will not accept. The conspiracy to me is to try to convince me that the times have changed, and we went from, in the Black community, producing Michael Jackson and Whitney Houston to what really Black people really want to hear right now is Sexy Red. And so that's the reason why these record labels are going to Sexy Red and offering her a deal. I refuse to believe that. So yes, power is held by these labels when they go out, and I don't mean that as any disrespect to her. Yeah. What I am saying is that frequencies are real, okay?
Exactly.
Frequencies impact your spirit.
There's been brothels and strip clubs and stuff since the oldest profession
I'm talking about music, and you are correct, but Confucius said, listen to the music.
And you'll be able to know the
and there's a reason for that.
Society.
This people, in my viewpoint, have a lot of power in the music industry, also understand that. There is no reason to fight to put filth on the airways and then try to convince people that it's free speech.
Because it's
in fact,
profitable.
I will tell you, these people are being pushed in a certain direction. Women, you're being told, can you make it sexier?
That is a Snapple fact. So sis, what you got on this clip? What are your thoughts? Do you think there is an agenda being pushed on our people when it comes to music like Sexy Red?
Of course. Candace get on my everlasting nerves. But sometimes I agree with her, you know. Sometimes I agree with her. She right. She right, you know. Music is a spirit, you know, and the music executives, they know exactly what they're doing. If you think about it, when you're in a bad mood, if you just got your girlfriend broke up with you, your husband, you know, cheated on you or whatever, what you gonna listen to? Some R&B heartbreaking music. If you're feeling down and you want to get picked back up, you're going to listen to what? Some motivational music, maybe some gospel music, right? Music is a spirit. So in order to keep people in a box, especially if they don't have a strong mind, you use sound, you use words.
You talking.
And you use dance.
You talking.
And that's exactly what the music executives are doing. They pay you extra. Just like, I don't know if it's Money Longer with someone. She did a video on TikTok where her record label was like, I need you to do some music gearing towards a certain audience. And it's a demographic that she don't even do, right? So she just said, she was like, yeah, I'm not doing that. She was like, no, I ain't doing that. You know, so she stood 10 toes down on that. Why would I switch what I'm doing to appease and make music as a spirit in the spirit realm, why would I make this music to make your audience feel a certain type of way about my music? I'm not doing that. And when it comes to the Black community, you have the rap that's tearing down our Black women. You have the rap that's pushing drugs, you know, making it fun, making it, you know, cool to these young people that don't have a mind. You have young people right now that feel like, oh, I'm 20-something years old. I don't have a Lamborghini. I don't have a Birkin, because this is what the artists are talking about. Half of that stuff that they have anyway in their videos are rented. And here's a kicker. There's a place in Beverly Hills that it's a lot of pawn jewelry from a lot of rappers and artists and celebrities, because they only buy that stuff for a view, to make you guys make it seem like they have more than what they have. There's one person that I really like a lot, because he's real. Chad Ochocinco. Chad will sit here and tell you, yeah, when I was playing football, guess what? All my jewelry was fake. He'll tell you that.
Yeah, he said that on his podcast with Cliff Shisha.
He'll tell you, you know.
In the nightcap.
Yeah, he'll tell you, oh, the cars, I don't need to buy all that. I'll buy one luxury car. Everything else, I might get a Honda or whatever. Even Sherelle, when he was with Sherelle, he said, you know, you don't even got to worry about going to the hairdresser. I got you. I'm going to do your hair and your nails. He did that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I ain't saying you got to be like Ocho, but what I'm saying is he was real enough to say, you don't need to spend all that money on a grill. You don't need to spend all this money on a Birkin or whatever, just to look like you know, famous or whatever, you know? So yeah, Candace is correct. It's a target to our community. That's why a lot of Black people are not able to go to where they want to go in life. You know, you see people that have generational poverty, right? So say, for instance, my grandma, she was on the system, right? Then my mama was on the system. And then my mama had 7 kids. Now one of us is on the system, because you know why? We were smart enough to say, we don't want that for our life.
Right,
but
right.
If I didn't have that mindset, or if me, my sisters, and my brothers didn't have that mindset, guess what?
You'd be right
we
there.
will be in poverty. And I know that for a known fact, because when I grew up in the hood, it was not only me and my family, my sisters, my brother. My mama had 7 kids.
Cook.
My auntie and her 6 kids. So you had all these kids in this one. I think we had 2 bedrooms in the hood. We had fun. I ain't even gonna lie, man. We had some fun in that house. But the fact of the matter is, and I ain't trying to put my cousins out there, my sisters and myself and my brother, we live a whole separate life because we chose a different path. We grew up in the same house as my cousins, but they are on a whole different path.
Right.
They're on the path of the poverty.
They're on the path of what they choose.
Right.
Yeah.
So my thing is, you have to have your own mind. You have to be surrounded by people that, you know, want better for themselves. Like when I was growing up, you know, I walk downtown or whatever, and I'd be like, dang, I'm gonna work in one of them buildings one day.
Yeah.
You know? And I just look at people with their suits on, and I'd be like, that's gonna be me. And guess what? You know how many times? Oh, my bad. You know how many times I had a job downtown?
Yeah.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Because that's what I wanted for my life. I seen better. And that's why we're here. That's why me and King, we're here right now in front of you in the industry, out here doing our thing, because this is what we wanted for our life. We're not, we may listen to Sexy Red. I don't listen to her, but I know King probably do. But we may listen to some of these rappers, some of these artists, but we're smart enough to protect our spirit.
Yeah.
And know this is not what the Black community is for, and we're gonna do better. So I hope I made sense of what I was saying. I feel like you was
cooking, sis. You was cooking. I will definitely say there is an agenda. There's an agenda to demasculate men and to make women more manly. They lied to us, and Future even talks about it. I don't do Molly Percocet. I could get paid to talk about it. So they'll put people in position to spit poison to your children, even though that's not their lifestyle. And here's the proof that it works. Because when people talked about who would you want to date, who would you want to date? Russell Wilson or Future? Well, here is Future, who has 10 baby mamas, no disrespect to his situation and his lifestyle. And then here you have Russell Wilson, who stepped up to be a father and take care of his woman and their child together. And I was like, oh no, I would rather want Future, because they've made being hood cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's a fact. And people are attracted to what's bad. They even got songs, why do good girls like bad guys, knowing the bad guys tell mad lies? There's some reason that there's an attraction to that.
Yeah.
And they capitalize on that. And it's definitely an agenda. And it's sad. I think there was a young lady who was teaching ballet. And she was crying because she said, look at all of her little students, all these little girls running around singing Sexy Red. But yet they had they were struggling when it came to educational and positive things. We talk about Sexy Red, but before I get on Sexy Red is no more than the fruit that fell from the tree. And before we judge a Sexy Red, we have to start looking at the tree. So when we can start correcting the roots in the tree, then we will produce better fruit. Mm-hmm. We don't have to tune in to listen to that, but because we tune in and listen to that, we give it power. So is it the artist's fault that she's singing what she's singing, or is it our fault for rejoicing what the artist is singing? Because if we stop supporting that type of music, then will that music be number one? See, they follow the money. And if they can influence you to follow ignorance, then why would they not continue that same agenda?
Yeah.
There's a thing called price. There's a price to change, because that means you can't listen to what you listen to, right? And then there's a price to staying the same, because if you stay the same, you'll never become what you could be. So the question is, which price do you want to pay? Do you want to continue the price of get it sexy? Listen, I'll turn up. I ain't gonna lie. I'll be out there. I'll turn up. You hear me? But at the same time, one thing that I love that Serena said was, man, you still got to protect your spirit. I still ain't no fool. I ain't gonna act like I don't come from the hood, but I ain't no fool. Mm-hmm. And I thank God from the principles that my mother or my mentors put inside me. You know what I'm saying? Pause. No Diddy, because I know how people get. But I appreciate, them helping mold me and become a better person. You know what I mean? And that way I know how to toe the line between the two. I can still be articulate, yet at the same time, I still know how to be ratchet. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with it, but if that's all your life is, and that's all you believe, and that's all of course it's going to have an influence. Because if there's life and death in the power of the tongue, then what do we speak? We speak words. Words make up letters. Letters make up words. Words make up sentences. Sentences make up songs. Songs make up movies and all these different things. But the portion that we're missing is who's controlling the narrative.
Yep.
So if you start understanding the narrative of who's influencing you, maybe you might want that influence over your life. Maybe you might want to, you might want to take a mental break from it. You might want to step away from it. And it's real, because sometimes when people go, let's say we're about to go rob a store, what type of music do they put on? It sure ain't gospel. If music that doesn't have an effect, why is certain things being played at certain times? Because there's power in what's being said. There's certain things that hype you, that motivate you to do certain things that you don't want to do. Yeah. So it's the power of choice, and what are we choosing as the people? Because I'm not just going to blame it on the artist. I am going to blame it on the choice of the music that we choose to listen to. That's why certain artists get played all the time and get radio play, because of the influence of the power. And then conscious rappers, or people who talk about positive things, don't get the same type of reaction. It's for a reason, because they want to flood the prison system. They want to flood that pipeline, because that's more money. Follow the money, and you'll see why the influence is what it is.
Yeah.
Any more on this topic, sis? You got?
Nah, that's it. I mean, just protect your spirit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Music is a spirit, and it's either gonna make you angry, happy, or sad.
Yeah. Emotional intelligence. Which one will you use? You know what I mean? Yeah. It's kind of like the movie Inside Out. What emotion takes over when you're listening to what? You know what I mean? And why are you? Here's a real question: why are you listening to what you're listening to? If you go back to the why, then you'll see what the influence is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you're mad, then this is why you're listening to that. But then why is it that song? Because there's an influence that's hyping you up to your feeling. So if you start understanding your own why, you'll start understanding why you're listening to what you're listening to. But if you want different results in your life, maybe you need to listen to different things in order to program yourself differently.
Yeah.
Because my one last thing, ooh, this is gonna be good.
Preach.
Who's programming you? Are you your master programmer, or do you allow other people to program you based off of what they say? You allow other people's words, other people's musics to become the virus that runs through your brain because that's what you like to listen to. And the crazy part of it is you accept the program. You give them the password to your heart. And how do you give them the password to your heart? By listening to it.
Yeah.
Now it's in your spirit. And then you know how it becomes truth because you repeat it. You sing it over and over again. Do you know what a chant is? Do you know what chanting is? Have you ever seen when witches chant and it creates spells? So when you're singing something over and over again, now you're chanting what you're singing. And if there's power in what you're singing, then what are you actually singing about? And if you actually understand what you're singing about, is that something that you should be singing? Is that something that you should be repeating? Are you attracting these different things to your life because of what you're saying?
Right.
These are just questions that you need to think about. So maybe you might want to think about what you're listening to, why you're listening to it, and just to start reprogramming yourself to hear things differently. Because every breath you take, you get an opportunity to do something different. The question is, will you?
Right. Let's go.
You did.
You did it. No, you did it.
Let's get to the last clip with your crazy self.
I pray for your generation because we did not have to deal with what you've had to deal with. And it's our fault for putting it in your hands. There were no 9 million opinions of every moment of my day.
No
and
documentation.
People that
of it.
like you and then suddenly they hate you and you don't
It's
understand
gross.
why. And I never had, I don't even know what you call it, an Instagram account. Never had one. What's the other name?
LinkedIn.
Twitter. I don't have any of those things.
You don't have a LinkedIn?
No. I have a Cadillac.
He said, I got a Cadillac. So what are your thoughts on social media, sis?
I agree with him. Back then, you didn't have, I mean, even we lived through a time where we didn't have social media, yo. Those were the best times of our life. We were in the clubs, just jamming. We actually danced in the club. We wasn't standing on the wall looking at no pictures or being on our Instagram scrolling. We literally lived life, tapped into everybody, talked on the phone, none of that texting stuff. I mean, we had beepers and we text here and there, but it wasn't
143.
It wasn't like, taken away from a natural connection with a person. You know what I'm saying? Like nowadays, like Denzel said, you have so many opinions. I can post something positive and somebody else can take it the wrong way and be like, oh, you just making it seem like you better than everybody. No, I'm just showing you what God blessed me with. Now, if you have insecurities as to why you're not getting blessed either, that's on you. You feel me? Yeah. So it's like you have so many opinions. Then you have people that live a life that they don't even live on social media. You know what I'm saying? You look like you're rich.
Cook.
You look like you're rich, but you ain't even got a bed. You're sleeping on an air mattress.
I'm done.
But you fine. You fine as heck. But you sleeping on an air mattress. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I thank you.
Social media is an illusion for what people want other people to see. And you have people that, like I said before, don't have their own mind, don't know how to have a spirit of discernment when people are doing a little bit too much on social media to know, man, these people ain't living how they living. That's why I'm very strategic with my posts, because I want people to understand, like, I go through things, I hustle through it, and I'm going to go after my dreams, and this is the results of it. You know what I mean? I want people to know that I'm 100% approachable. I'm real. You know what I'm saying? I don't go on there and try to be politically correct. I have a hard time on this podcast not saying the N-word. I am really trying to stop. Do you understand? So I want people to understand, like, when they see my posts, that they really feel the authenticity of myself, of who I am as a person on and off social media. Yeah. So I definitely agree with Denzel that we didn't have that back then. And it's just too many opinions. This cancel culture. You can't say too much because this new generation is so soft. They want to cry about every little thing. Oh, well, listen, you said that his bell bottoms was too tight and that it was it look a certain type of way, so we're gonna cancel you. That's my opinion. If I don't like it, that's fine. You know? So
yeah, people are soft. We definitely need to, we do need to do a show on that, how soft the world has become.
yeah.
Everything is all cancel culture. That's a good
Cancel
topic.
culture, you want a participation award and you didn't really do anything. You know what I'm saying? Just like, and don't cancel me, okay, when I say this.
Oh, hold on, y'all. She done gave y'all the disclaimer.
It's a lot of people that have gotten famous off of social media. I love that for y'all. If I knew how to do it, I definitely would. But it's a lot of people that got famous but don't have any talent. And I feel like, as far as entertainment, like the people before the whole social media movement, like you have Cara Kana, you have Cross Colors. Those are people
damaged.
Huh?
I said, you said Carl Kanai, Cross Colors. I said used and damaged jeans.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like the distressed jeans. I mean, they really did their thing back in the 90s. Yeah. And guess what? Nowadays they're trying to come back, but it's washed out with these up and coming artists because their social media presence is a lot bigger. But these are legends in the game.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of heartbreaking to see, our legends, our living legends that put a lot of the artists on the map, they're really struggling. Even old artists, they're struggling with their social media presence because of this new wave of anybody can be famous. Yeah. So I don't know. I just feel like I've been rambling all day. I just hope
you're good. You cooking. I'm loving it.
So
I will say yes and no to both, right? Because back in the day when we didn't have social media, everybody wasn't aware of what was going on. Like that Louisiana thing would have happened and it would have took forever for people to find out that type of information. So I do see the power of social media and having knowledge. But there's also a saying, too much of anything could become a bad thing. You know what I mean? And I also can see exactly where Denzel's coming from. I can see where my sister's coming from because everybody has an opinion. You're going to have trolls. You got bots. You got so many things that ain't even real. Sometimes people didn't even say it, and it's a bot that said it to you, and it's AI generated this, AI generated that. Hate here, hate there, because people ain't got their own happiness in their own life. People front, look at me, I'm on vacation, blah, blah, blah. But you don't know what that person did to be in that situation. Then they get stuck because they done traveled. They didn't want to give it up. Now they got to buy their own ticket to get home, and they back on social media talking about they can't get home. You know
ain't got no money. You want to get on the
right?
GoFundMe to get me back home because I'm out of the country by my lonesome.
So all type of stuff. I mean, I love it for the awareness, especially when people need to be aware. Look at what happened with Black Lives Matter, and then you had the whole world saying, "Hey, we are watching you, America." You know what I mean? Y'all still need to be watching because ain't nothing changed. Don't turn the TV off. You know what I mean? Shout out to Kendrick Lamar. But at the end of the day, too much of anything can be a bad thing. And sometimes you have kids that are so distracted and they're all on social media, but they're failing in school. But these kids are like supercomputers now. They understand computers and AI better than we ever did because that's all they know and that's what they grew up in and that's their language. You know what I mean? So you can't hate on the progression. So I'm like, we just have to be able to find a healthy balance between the two. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's okay just to shut down and not go on social media. Or sometimes it is okay to see what's going on and have a better understanding for awareness.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts for our first show of the new year, sis?
Yeah, so I know that they said that it's a new generation of kids that's going to come out and their basic learning is going to be all computerized.
Yep.
So it's interesting to see, first of all, how these babies going to look. Are they going to look like little aliens? Look, alien babies. You know, like are they gonna have like a futuristic look or something? Like I'm really interested to see. You know, it's gonna be interesting.
Yeah. And I'll just say, saying again, awareness online, because you got pedophiles online that's entertaining your children. There was some little kid playing Roblox and they sent him a message and he gave up their home address. And then the weirdo showed up to people's crib and she was like, what, you thought you were just going to play with my daughter? What is wrong with you? Why would you even come over here, you sicko? You know what I mean? Different type of things. So awareness, be aware of what's going on social media. Be aware of what's going on video games. Be aware what's going on with your children. Be aware what's going on in your life. Just be aware. Awareness. And I'm happy that y'all made it to 2026. Make sure you like, subscribe. Pretty soon, check us out on Apple, Spotify, iHeart. We're about to go ahead and level up this year. So we just appreciate everybody who's been rocking with us, showing us love. And make sure you go to YouTube and follow Whisper Into Your Soul, hashtag W2YS. And make sure y'all check out my sister, Serena Renee, the one-stop shop. Make sure you follow her at Serena_813, or you check out your boy on IG, King Jaquel Martin, or Whisper Into Your Soul. That's our show today. We love y'all. Get at us. You dig?
See you later. Oh, snap. Bye, y'all.
I got that.